Here. Brr. What are you doing? Alright, let's get some shipment in. That's her intense bark. I like the relaxed bark because that's hilarious. I mean, that one's funny too, but ouch. Yeah, her relaxed bark. You're so funny. What you doing? Huh? I need to change around my damn loadouts. I don't even know what the other ones are. I only know Erica. Oh no, the other one's up here on my lap. Ooh, ow! Ow! Holy crap! I guess it would be like Kepri's knee. Just totally went into my hip.
Team deathmatch.
Felt like she was stabbing me.
Destroy the enemy. We have the lead.
Changing back. Setting Claymore.
We've lost the lead.
Target spotted.
We've secured the lead.
Oy.
We have the lead.
Oh, damn.
Secured the lead. We've lost the lead. Throwing grenade. Being detected. Hardline online. Throwing through
Setting Claymore.
Was that not on that guy? His gun went off.
Enemy in the area.
Friendly UAV on station. We have the lead. Friendly mortar strike on the way.
Ah, shit. That was the guy. I mean, there isn't friendly fire on, but I still don't like to do that. reload.
Quick freeze online. UAV active.
Ah, should have known by the footsteps. Oh yeah, well, I don't know what to think of that. For a damn grenade.
Planting Claymore! Check the fire! It's almost dry!
I'm low on ammo.
Setting Claymore!
Can't get that bitch.
Rolling three charge. Ready to launch.
What's that, man? I missed, they hit.
I'm his guardian angel!
Standing by. On your six. Our
Requesting
UAV
recon
is orbiting
flyover.
the area.
You put that target on yourself!
Our mortar strike is inbound.
Ugh,
Throwing grenade!
should've just started swiping.
Planting Claymore!
Friendly mortar strike inbound.
That's enough out of you.
Setting Claymore!
Rolling three charge. Hostile UAV in the center. Friendly UAV online.
Damn it. Mark.
Target eliminated! Side hunter 6! Visual targets!
Son of a bitch.
Fíjate dónde disparas, idiota!
What the fuck? Didn't I have? I had all the SA, the cruise missile, the fucking UAV. .24, mostly with a sniper. Okay. Lay down. Alright, hop down. Jesus. She like totally whacked me in the eyeball on the way down.
Combination. Treasure 1, your task is to control the objective.
Got one.
Changing mag!
With you, yeah.
Damn it.
We are losing Alpha. We are taking Bravo.
Thought that guy ran past me.
Securing Charlie. Securing Alpha. We are taking Alpha. Alpha secure. Enemy securing Bravo. Secure Bravo. Enemy is taking Bravo.
Oh man, I still wanted that to be a double. Oh shit, I totally screwed that up.
Securing objective Bravo.
Whoops.
Enemy
Damn it.
AO!
Enemy is taking Alpha. Bravo. Enemy is taking Bravo. We control all objectives. Objective Bravo is compromised. Losing Charlie.
Throwing Molotov!
We are taking Bravo.
Ugh.
We've secured the lead. The enemy is Charlie. Secure Bravo.
Damn it.
Molotov out! Reloading!
Objective Bravo.
Subjects incoming!
Friendly UAV on station. Secure Bravo. Enemy is securing Alpha.
Subjects!
The enemy has killed 2 objectives. Deployed.
The same guy I hit before and didn't get?
Friendly cruise missile deployed.
Take cover!
Hostiles in the air!
UAV standing by. Securing objective Bravo.
Oh, he ducked.
Taking Alpha. Securing objective Charlie.
Ah!
We
Trying
are
to
taking
shoot
Bravo.
around here. There's limited room. Oh my god, was that double? Oh,
Objective
no!
Bravo.
Oh, yeah, reload.
UAV is orbiting the area.
Multiple movers!
Dropped one! Asshole!
Oh, bad shot. Holy shit, that was a run. However much that ash was, that's how long my run was. Ah, shit. I should have stayed with the other gun.
are taking Charlie.
Using flashlight!
We have lost all objectives. Failure is not
Whoopsie. Just shooting at the wrong one.
drone is online. We are taking Charlie. Charlie secure. Hostile UAV overhead.
Enemy is close!
Securing objective Bravo. Hostiles launched a mortar strike. On cover. We are taking Bravo.
No.
Target here.
The enemy holds two objectives. Get
Ah.
secure Bravo. Control Bravo. We have lost Bravo. Enemy securing objective Alpha.
You're
Enemy
shooting
is
friendly!
objective. The enemy is gaining ground. Securing Alpha. Taking Alpha. Hostile Overwatch Hilo in this sector. Securing objective Bravo. We control Alpha. Hostile mortar strike in the area. Hostile UAV active.
I'm getting stitched up.
It's taking Alpha. Enemy holds all objectives. Secure those. Secure Bravo.
Holy shit.
How come this guy gets down? Everybody else gets killed.
Securing objective Alpha. We are taking Bravo.
Is that an ability you can get?
We are
Or whatever?
Inside.
securing Charlie.
Scheiße!
Hostile UAV.
Enemy fighter!
Friendly bomb drone active.
Dropped up!
Hostile UAV overhead. Securing objective Bravo. We are taking Alpha. We are taking Bravo.
Switching the AP round!
Securing Charlie. Secure Bravo. We are taking Charlie. Objective Charlie secure. We are taking Bravo. Hostiles are using recon. Hostile UAV active. Friendly cruise missile inbound. Securing objective Bravo. We're getting hit hard.
Throwing Molotov!
The enemy controls two objectives. Push the offensive.
Bitch.
Securing objective Bravo.
What's up, Gator?
Enemy in the area!
Just shooting people in the face.
Mission
Maybe.
failed. Return to base.
I was doing pretty good there for a while with that sniper. Yeah, 31. I got the most amount of defense, and I don't know how the hell that happened, because I, like, really didn't even try to go towards any of the flags. Oh, 75, that's cool.
Team deathmatch. All Saber, you've got the nod. Weapon. We've taken the lead.
Scratch one! Enemy fighter here! Watch your fire!
We've lost the lead. Hostile UAV in the area.
Ah, damn, that sucks.
The enemy's taken the lead.
Ah, fuck, man. Shit. Loot super fucking fast. Reload super fucking slow.
UAV in the area.
Alright, hop off my feet, buddy. Damn it.
Hardpoint. Hold Nazar, capture and hold the target area.
Enemy in the area.
Hardpoint.
Feind ist tot. Throwing grenade.
Grenade!
Hostiles in the AO.
Throwing a stun.
So, taking fire.
Grenade.
We have the lead. Enemy personnel on hardpoint.
This one's dead!
I totally thought she said this one's like dead.
Loading fresh mag.
Taking effective fire!
Ah! Go shut that box in front of me.
Hardpoint compromised. Secure the area.
Check the fire.
Location updated. Capture the hard line.
Ah! I think I was going too slow.
Enemies inside the perimeter.
Enemy spotted here.
Get ready.
Damn it. Damn it. I was hoping that'd be a double.
Hardpoint relocated. Secure the target.
I'm getting it up.
Contact! Stun grenade out! Throwing grenade!
Took him out.
With you till the end. We've got enemies in the AO! Check your fire!
Ah, right above him. Oh, what a shitty freaking shot.
Coming!
Hardpoint relocated. Stand by. Enemy cruise missile approaching
Trophy
target.
system out! Throwing a stun grenade!
Target area updated. Move to the hostile UAV in this sector. Friendly cluster mine set. Our UAV is orbiting the area. Friendly UAV online. Friendly cluster mine.
Ah, I totally jerked that.
Friendly people inbound.
Tag me.
Enemies inside the perimeter. Locating the next target. Get ready. Location upgraded. Hostiles deployed a bomb drone. Friendly cluster mine deployed.
Find this code.
I'm getting lit up.
Reloading!
Myself up.
I've got contact!
Friendly UAV on station.
Covering the 6.
UAV active.
They tagged me.
Relocating. Stand by.
That's
Our
live.
UAV is orbiting the area.
There it was.
Hostile care package deployed. Target area updated. Move to the hard point. Friendly UAV online.
We've got enemies in the air!
Friendly mortar strike on the way. Hard point compromised. Secure the area. Recon
overhead.
I've got your back.
Hardpoint relocated. Stand by.
Frag out!
Enemies inside the perimeter. Location updated. Hardpoint compromised. Secure the area. Friendly cluster mine planted. Friendly UAV online.
Fire.
UAV is being controlled. RTB at this time.
Hey, bloodthirsty.
I've got contact.
Locating the next
Fire in the
hardpoint.
hole.
Get ready.
Throwing flash!
Target area updated. Move to the hardpoint.
Tossing grenade. Stun
Enemies
grenade.
inside the perimeter.
Frag out.
Enemy has the lead.
Still not fighting.
Enemy personnel at the hardpoint.
Check fire! Check fire!
Contact.
Ah, damn it. You jumped out of the way.
Units remaining. Hardpoint compromised. Secure the area. Confirming next hardpoint. Stand by. We've lost the lead. We've lost half the field. Fight back. Enemy personnel at the hardpoint. Relocated. Secure the target area. We have the lead.
Wasn't gonna let that slide.
Enemy has the lead. Enemy.
Look around!
Hostiles in the
Locating
area!
the next hardpoint. Get ready.
Basic!
Don't
check
forget
fire!
this. Throwing a stun grenade.
Location updated. Back to the house. Hostiles launching pad. 30 seconds. Enemy personnel at the hardpoint. Hostile UAV overhead.
Frag out!
Hardpoint compromised. Secure the area.
To my mark.
Friendly cluster mine deployed. Russia. Hostile care package incoming. Enemies inside the perimeter. Seconds remaining. Confirming next hardpoint. Stand by. Panya. Enemy personnel at the hardpoint.
What's up, Psycho?
Inside the perimeter. Hostile UAV active. Mission compromised. We are defeated.
I didn't even open this. $32.
point.
Enemy contact.
Capture and hold the target area. Target area confirmed. Get to the hard point.
Look out!
Hard point compromised. Secure the air. We've taken the lead. We've lost the lead.
Flash!
Enemies inside the
That other guy.
personnel at the hard point. Secure the area. Friendly care package on the way. Friendly UAV on station. Locating the next hard point. Get ready. Hardline activated.
Changing mags!
Enemies inside the perimeter. Target area updated. Move to the hard point.
Rescue recon flyover.
UAV ready to deploy.
Taking fire!
Customized set.
Enemy down!
Our UAV is orbiting the area. Enemy personnel at the hard point.
Oh,
Confirming next hard point.
there it was.
Enemies inside the perimeter.
Oh, shit.
Location updated. Cruise missile ready to deploy.
Bloodthirsty.
Standing
Blood
by.
for blood.
Enemy personnel at the hard point.
Look at all them damn trophies over there.
Hostile
They're all gone.
in the area.
Damn it.
Friendly UAV online.
Take cover!
Split second behind.
Hostile sentry is active. Quick fix on the hard point compromised. Secure the area. Hard point relocated. Stand by.
Back to fire! 46. Shoot up! Shoot down!
Enemy inside the perimeter. Hard point relocated. Secure the target area. Enemy UAV overhead. Hostile cluster mine active.
Damn it.
Hostile cluster mine detected.
Solid copy. Tiger 4 LCSAE. Inbound hot.
Enemy UAV active. Enemy UAV overhead. Enemy personnel at the hard point.
Good effect on target.
Cool.
Trojan 6 cruise missile right.
Capture the hard point compromised. Secure the area.
Impact. Good effect.
Oh, cool.
Fire!
Hostiles deployed a sentry.
Changing mags!
Taking effective fire! Throwing grenade! Stun grenade!
Enemy UAV
Confirming next hard point. Stand by. Hardpoint relocated. Secure the top. Enemies
Couldn't
inside
chase
the
him.
Watch your fire!
enemy personnel at the hardpoint.
Enemy contact!
Hardpoint compromised. Secure the area.
Enemy spotted!
Our counter UAV is active.
Throwing grenade!
Enemies inside the perimeter. Friendly UAV on station. Hardpoint relocating. Stand by. Enemy personnel.
Fucker.
Enemies in the area!
Hardpoint compromised.
Flashing
Secure
coming!
the area.
Check fire!
Target area updated. Move to the hardpoint.
Enemy contact! Stick!
Oh shit. Okay.
UAV standing by. Enemy personnel at the hardpoint. Our UAV is orbiting the area.
Tossing frag! Watch the drone shot! Frag out!
Hostile sentry is online. Locating the next
Damn it.
hardpoint. Get ready.
Stay down!
We've lost half the field. Fight back. Enemies inside the perimeter.
Drone stun grenade!
Hardpoint relocated. Secure the target area. Friendly
What's the
UAV
recon
online.
flyover?
Flash, watch your eye! Switching mags!
Hardpoint compromised. Secure the area. Deploy.
Visual on the enemy!
Hostile UAV in the area. Enemy personnel at the hardpoint. Standing by. Enemy UAV overhead. Hardpoint relocating. Stand by. Enemies inside the perimeter.
Damn it. Turtle.
Capture the hard. 1 minute left.
I take care of my people.
Shoot one! Shoot down!
Our UAV is orbiting. Friendly UAV on station.
That was dodgy.
Friendly care package in the AO. Hardpoint compromised. Secure the area. Hostile care package deployed. Enemy personnel at the hardpoint. Our UAV is orbiting the area. Get ready. 30 seconds remain. Target area updated. Move to the hardpoint.
Intermission. Because like, what the hell did I get? What's the button? Thought it was this button. But whatever I got. Try getting 60 kills with a sniper. That's a bitch and a half. It's easy if they fall like right into your lap, but ouch. But you're always looking this way, and you're like, all right, I got this shit covered. And you see your guys going that way, and you're like, all right, they got that way covered, so we're good. And then they'll come out of the middle, or they'll like kill your guys and come over. And it's a pain. What question? I don't really make my eyes fully open, but I have to lean all the way back in my chair because my TV's so big that literally, like, at the end of my feet, when I put my feet up, like, that's where the TV is. So I need to be back as far as possible. Because if I'm too close, well, first off, I only focus on a small area of the screen instead of, like, the entire fucking screen. And then, what's the other thing? Oh, because it's like high def. I don't know, it just like fucks with my eyes. But, I don't know, maybe. Get your PC done first. Are you gonna do it all yourself? Or are you gonna piecework it out? You should try Linux. Well, then you can't. I don't think you can play this game. Because Ricochet thinks because you have to have a Windows emulator. That's why I can't play it, because I'm on Linux. And when you use a Windows emulator, Ricochet thinks you're trying to use a cheat bot, or cheat whatever thing. And they don't make a version for Linux. But Linux is awesome, man. And I can't play this game on my PC, but I have it for PlayStation, so. And someday, hopefully someday soon, I'll have a PS5. It's on my list of shit to buy, but also so are like tires and potentially new rims for my truck. a few bills. I really want to get a damn floor jack. That way it'll be much more safe when I do my lift kit. But I'm going to do all that shit at the same time. Tires, if I get rims too. I'd like to get new rims. That way I could have them offset instead of having spacers. But that's not mandatory at all. Because I like the way my tires sit right now. And if I just get bigger tires, then it'll be awesome. But that'll be for after the lift kit. Because the next time I get tires, I want to get an alignment. Because that's a good practice to do. Every time you get new tires, get an alignment. Because otherwise, if you're out of alignment, you're just going to wear out your tires like so fucking quick. Like, I learned this from being a fleet manager for a company. I had many titles that's there. I was the assistant maintenance manager. I was the pool and spa manager. I was the fleet manager. I did the schedule. Like, I did almost everything. I did billing. I did the maintenance coordinator position for my department. But the one thing I took away from that was because I saw how fast it could like fuck up your brand new tires if you don't have a good alignment. Like, you can just be a little bit out, and all of a sudden, like, your right front tire, like, the outside has no tread on it, and the cords are showing. Like, it just fucking happens quick. So, like, every time a vehicle went in for... Because they would call me and be like, yeah... Like, because I would just drop off the truck. Usually it was... I would give somebody a ride into work, and then on the way home from work, they would drive the work truck and drive it to... It was the dealership, which... Actually, they were pretty decent. I'm usually shitty on dealerships, but... they would drive it to the dealership. The dealership was pretty cool. The next place we used was pretty shady. And in the next place we used was pretty shady. And then the place after that was pretty shady. And I found that out after I took my truck there. Because I was the fleet manager. So I went in there, I'm like, yo, I'm the fleet manager for this company, and I bring you 13 vehicles, every single year for inspection, tires, alignment, anything that needs done with a vehicle. I just bring it here, and you guys take care of it. And they're like, oh, yeah, we remember you. And I'm like, awesome, I need to get my truck inspected. And then they come back with like $1,000 worth of shit that needed done. And I'm like, what? Like, this thing's almost brand new. And they were like, the tie rods. There was a tie rod, I think in an upper... No, that was later. No, they said it was like a tie rod and something else. I want to say it was like a wheel bearing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a wheel bearing, and they wanted like $1,000 for it. And then that's how I got Kevin to take care of my shit. Because they were like, yeah, you want us to do it? Like, we can have it done in like a couple hours and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no. Like, that stuff wasn't messed up. And I remember I left there, my parents were here at the time. So I didn't come back to the house. I was just pissed off about the whole thing and just kind of wanted a minute. So I went to the boat ramp and I parked and I got out and looked at the damn tie rod, and they must have used a pickle fork on it, because the whole rubber boot was just mangled and non-existing anymore. Which now it's definitely on its way out now. Like, you know what a pickle fork is? It looks like this, and you put it in between a tie rod, which is like a tapered bolt into a metal fitting. So like when you use the fork, and the fork also like is small at one end and gets fatter at the other end, so that it'll like raise the shit up. It's not exactly the best way to do it. I never knew it before, but you can just take a hammer and like after you loosen the bolt and like have it almost all the way out, you can just smack the knuckle and the thing will just pop right out, which is pretty damn cool. But yeah, like that was all destroyed. So I left there. I left the boat ramp and I went to Kevin, which is the guy right down the street from me. And I was like, hey, man. And I told him the situation. I was just like, I was just in for an inspection. They said, Dad, I think they messed up my boot. And I need to know if I need a wheel bearing, too. And so he's like, wait. Yeah, that wasn't the first time I was at his place. Yeah, that was a different time. And I suspected a wheel bearing that time, too. The first time I was at his place, I pulled in. I was just like, I wonder if this guy can help me. And I was like, I was wondering if I had bad wheel bearings or ball joints. And he was like, just dropped what he was doing and was like, let's check it out. Grabbed the floor jack and just went right out and jacked up my truck right in the parking lot and just started checking. And he's like, nope, everything seems fine. Get new tires. And I was like, how much for that? And he was like, I don't sell tires. Which he does sell tires now. But at the time, I guess he didn't sell tires. Because he was like, I don't sell tires. And I was like, this is my mechanic. Like, any mechanic that's not trying to upsell every single fucking thing that they can, like, that's who I like. But this time I went to him and I was like, hey, man, I was like, that's my mechanic. But then, like, I had all these ins with all these other companies. So I was like, maybe I can use how much I spend during the year with these other vehicles, to, like, maybe they'll offset my cost a little bit. And they didn't. But I went back to Kevin and I was just like, hey, man, like, they failed me for inspection I was just straight up with them. I'm like, I didn't like just go in and be like, can you do an inspection? Like, I was straight up. I'm like, they failed me. I went to this place. They failed me for a ball joint and a wheel bearing. And he was like, all right, well, let me check it out. And he inspected it. Or actually, before he inspected it, I was like dropping off my keys and stuff. And he was like, if you go back to the place, if you fix the problems and you go back to the place that originally did it, it's like 13 cents to get a new inspection. It's like $13. But like to get it redone, it's like 13 cents or something. It's something ridiculously cheap. And I was like, I'm never taking my vehicle back to that place ever again. I'll give you $20 to do my inspection as opposed to the 13. I just don't want those people touching my truck ever again. Because he checked it out and he was like, yeah, no, or maybe it was a ball joint, a wheel bearing, and a tie rod. Nah, well, I know it was a tie rod. Because that one, he's like, nah, it's fine. Like, it's on its way out, and now that it doesn't have a boot on it anymore, it's like, it's guaranteed it's going in the next few years. Like, you might be able to get 2 years out of it, but, like, after that, like, you're probably just gonna need to get a new one. And then, which I got him to do. That way I didn't have to, like, go out of my way to go get an alignment. He could go do that for me. Paying for it anyway. And then, the wheel bearing, he was like, it's not 100%. He's like, it's probably like 80%, and it's only gonna get worse. But, like, for passing inspection this year, yeah, you're fine. Like, next year, you're probably fine. The year after that, you're probably still fine. After that, you're probably in the market to get a new wheel bearing, which happened. But he's always been like really cool, which is always important, man. Because where the hell has that dude been? I don't even remember who the hell it was. Some dude I worked with. Oh, no, it was Evan. Yeah, he's still not there anyway, but he was telling me about, like, how he had to have his vehicle towed and, like, all this work done. And it was, like, super simple fucking work. Like, shit that you can, like, literally, I'm not even joking. If you can make a wrench work, if you can use a screwdriver, you can watch a YouTube video about how to do the problems that he had, and you could get it done for the cost of your time, which really isn't really a cost when you're doing shit like that, and the and the parts. Because, you know, when you get them parts from a garage, they mark up the parts. Everywhere marks up parts whenever they install them. Like, you call a plumber, like, they're marking up their parts. It's like 79 cents for Teflon tape. Well, you're paying $1.15. You know, it's just the way it goes. Like, where I worked, there was 30% markup. So no matter what the cost was, so if it's $100, now it costs you $130 for me to install it, plus my labor to do that, however long it takes me. Which I was very, I guess, tactful with the way I did my labor. Because there was sometimes a job that would take me like 4 hours. I'd mark it down to 2 hours, just because it should have taken me an hour and a half. So that's 2 hours. Or there was jobs that took me like 45 minutes, and I'd charge an hour and a half, just because that's the normal rate, and I kicked ass and got that shit done in half the time. Like, I had a bunch of jobs like that. I had some jobs, like, when I'd replace a pack, I would just do it for $1,000. So $1,000. I'd get them for, like, sometimes $550 or $650. So that's $350 labor that I get for installing it. And there was a lot of times it only took me 1 hour. So that's like $350 an hour, which is pretty damn cool. I used to do creative accounting like that all the time. But I was very fair about it. And I also did other things, like I would have used parts that I wouldn't throw away. And then when people needed parts, I'd be like, all right, look, I can't guarantee it. I can come back and put a brand new one in later, but I got this one, and it's like a $70 part. I'll give it to you for $15. And we'll throw it in. If it works, yay. If it doesn't work, you know, if it will work, but if it ends up failing, then I'll come back. I'll replace it, no labor. I'll replace it for free, and I'll just refund your $15 into the, you know, $75 part or whatever. And almost always it worked out great, because I wouldn't do it with like electronic. Well, I'd do it with some electronic parts, but not a lot. But it was mainly like, you know, plastic parts or shit like that. And it was great because the homeowners loved me for that, because I was saving them a bunch of money. They're like, you don't have to pay $75, you just pay $15. And like, because a lot of the times it was like literally I walk over and drop it into where it goes and walk away kind of thing. I'm like, yeah, I won't charge you any labor either. which technically I was supposed to charge labor for. But you should always check your tires. I believe technically, according to like every driving manual, like you're supposed to do like a whole, like check every single light on your vehicle, make sure your blinkers are working, high beams, low beams, check your tire pressures all the way around, check your brakes to see how much brakes that you have left. Which, fun tip, unless it's leaking, you can do that by opening the hood and looking at your master cylinder and checking the fluid level. My uncle taught me that. Because whenever you get brand new brakes, they compress the cylinders and all the fluid goes back to the master cylinder, and it should go to like the full level. So as you're using your brakes and as they're wearing down, the fluid needs to be more and more in the lines, so the fluid will start going down. And when it gets down close to like low, that's usually when you should need to have your brakes changed. Easy way to figure that out. You don't even have to look at your brakes, which I would still look at my brakes, but I always thought that was freaking cool as hell. As long as you don't have a leak in the lines. If you have a leak in the lines, that'll give you false readings, and you could have brand new brakes, and it will be at the low mark, and you're like, oh my god, I need new brakes. Which, if you don't know how to change your brakes, you should learn how to change your brakes. It's one of the easiest things ever. I was telling my brother-in-law about that. Well, he wasn't my brother-in-law at the time, and he's not now. But I was telling him, like, he was like, oh, I need to get my brakes done, and they want like $150 or like $200 or some shit. And I'm like, how much are your brakes? And he's like, I don't know. And so we looked them up on the internet, and I think it was like $20 for the brakes. I'm like, I can get your brakes done for $20. He's like, no way, man. And I'm like, yeah, I can do it. And he's like, there's no way I'm going to let you do that. Like, it's your brakes. Like, they have to fucking work. And I'm like, yeah, let me show you. I think I even broke out my manual, because I buy a manual, like the detailed manual, like how to take apart your engine step by step, how to put it back together, like how to replace every single part on your vehicle. That kind of manual. I buy that every single vehicle I get. And I've done that since the early 90s. Like every vehicle I've had. As a matter of fact, a bunch of vehicles that I sold, I put the manual in the vehicle. That way they would have the manual for their vehicle. And I'd have service records. I like write on the inside cover, like oil change, this many miles. You know, like, you know, ball joint replaced, this many miles. Like, I would just go through battery replaced, this many miles, and this date. I would always throw the date in there, too. But, shit, what was I talking about with the fucking manual? Oh, yeah, I probably pulled out the manual and showed him, like, exactly how to do it. And he was like, it doesn't seem hard. I'm like, dude, I'll do your brakes for you, and you'll never have to pay anybody to do your brakes ever again. So we went out front, and I did one side and showed him how to do it, and then had him do the other side, and he got it done. And I was like, as long as you torque that shit to specs, man, you're good to go. And he was like, holy fuck, like, I'm never paying anybody to, like, do my brakes ever again. And I don't think he ever did. because that's how fucking easy it is. I'm like, look, all you need is one tool. I mean, besides like a socket set, so that, well, I like a breaker bar to get the tire off, and then a socket set to get the brakes apart. And then after that, you just need a giant C-clamp. That's it. I mean, you can get the special tool. It's like a paint, or not a paint, like a caulk gun design, where it just like advances a rod, and it's got a big flat spot, and that'll depress the piston. But you can just use the old brake pad, and then a giant C-clamp, and just crank that bitch down, and you're done. Did I ever catch the mileage on my car when it hits a certain number? Yeah. I think it was 89,000 something when I got it, and I've watched every single number since. And it's 156,000. And I've owned it for 16 years. So it's only, and I went to Oklahoma with it. Well, I went from North Carolina to Oklahoma to Pennsylvania back to North Carolina. And yeah, I watched it roll over to 150,000. Like, I was literally just sitting there staring at the dashboard. Like, come on, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. But yeah, it's only like, I mean, the thing's like 18 years old. Well, it's a 96. 16, 17 years old. Right? Yeah, 17 years old. And I've owned it for 15 years. Because it was 2 years old when I got it. And I got it with 89,000 miles, and it's only got 156 something now. Whoa, what the fuck is going on? What are you doing? Hey! What is going on over here? I don't remember what my other one had for mileage. My 01 Dodge. This is my 06. My 01 had something. I think it had like 90-something thousand when I got it. I have no idea how much it had after I got rid of it. Because that was like 2011, 2012. Maybe even 2013. But I took that bitch all the way to Colorado, hauling a trailer. I drove all the way to Pennsylvania. Picked up my dad and his trailer and quads and all that shit. Actually, I think we took out my toolbox. Yeah, we took my toolbox out just so we could fit the quad into the damn truck bed. And then we drove all the way. We took 70 all the way to, it was like Colorado Springs-ish. Or no. Where the fuck was that? I don't know. It's on the east side. And then we went south to Pueblo. And stayed there, and then went into New Mexico. And I watched it. I saw it coming. And I watched. Yeah, I've seen a bunch of them. Coming back from Oklahoma through Pennsylvania, I hit something. I don't remember what the fuck I hit there. Or wait. Going to Oklahoma, I must have hit 90,000. Because it was like 2,000 miles out there. And I got it with 89,000, so I must have, unless my dad was driving. Yeah, there's not, there probably is somewhere. But I really haven't looked at, especially lately, for information about vehicles online. Because usually they want a paid subscription and like the good the good things. They're usually like $100 a month kind of thing. Because I hear mechanics talking about them all the time. But like the Haynes or the Chilton manual, like go down to the local like AutoZone or Pep Boys or whatever the hell auto place that you have, and they'll have a whole section of vehicle manuals. You just find your make and model, year, and boom, you got pretty much a guide on how to take your car apart and put it back together, especially if you have a problem. But that's because, like, I must have been 16. Yeah, I think it was right before I turned 17. Because I turned 16, oh no, it was less than 4 months after I turned 16 I had my license. So this is probably like another 3-4 months after that. I had, yeah, no, I drove out to the farm, and, because there was a farm, my dad was good friends with the farmer, and the guy, like, hated the deer eating all his shit, so he would, like, invite my dad over all the time to go hunting, because my dad was a big hunter. And my dad also would get like a shitload of tags. So they would have like, it's kind of like a lottery system, but you can put in for as many tags as you want. And there'd be years we'd have like 6-8 tags. So we could get like 6 or 8 deer. And it was usually does. It was not usually bucks. It was like you could get 1 buck, and then we could get like 6 or 7 or 8 does. And but the farmer didn't give a shit. He's like, good, that'll like keep the population down, killing all the women. And then so we would come over, and he loved us because he like was on hard times and couldn't really afford the property that he bought because he bought it from a guy that died. And then so like me and my dad would shoot deer and then just drive them up to his barn and like tag them, like make sure they were tagged and everything, and we're like, here you go, and like just give him the deer. And then like he loved deer meat, so he would be eating deer like all winter long. And meanwhile, we didn't have to like clean them, we didn't have to like do anything. We just shot them and like drove them over to him, and he took care of them. But I drove out to that farm, and then I drove all the way home, and there was water leaking all over the place. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? So I was checking it out, and it was the water pump. When your water pump goes out, it'll usually like seep. It has a seep hole on the bottom of it. so it can like let water out of it. It's pretty. I guess it's just to tell you that it's fucked up. I don't know, but I was like, what the fuck's going on? I think I bought the manual for my truck, figured out it was the water pump, went to the auto parts store, bought the or I called up a bunch of garages on the house phone. That's how long ago it was. And I called up a bunch of garages, and they were like $300, $500, $400. And I was like, holy shit, I don't have that kind of fucking money. And I called up the parts store, and I was like, how much for a water pump? And they were like $25. And then there's like a $10 core fee. So like when you bring your old one back, like they'll give you the $10 back. And I'm like, all right, I'll take one of them. And I went home, and that's how I started working on my vehicle, because I didn't want to pay like $500 for a $25 part. That's why it's good to like know how to work on shit. Later. I gotta wake up at noon. Or before noon. But yeah, working on your vehicle was like a really good thing to know. Actually, even if you buy the book, the manual for your vehicle, and never do the work on your vehicle, but look at the problems that you're having, like, you're way ahead of the game. Because then you're not going to get screwed over by some shady mechanic. Because you'll be like, okay, I just need a wheel bearing. And then, like, you go in, and they're like, you need a tie rod, you need a ball joint, you need a wheel bearing. You're like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like... Because the beginning of those manuals, there's like a shitload of fucking questions. I think it's like 100. Whereas like my wheels are wobbly, and they're like, you know, check, or your when was the last time your vehicle or your wheels were balanced? When you know, check your tie rods. Check that on page 46C or whatever. Like, check your wheel bearings, that's on page whatever, and, like, they'll walk you right through, like, where to find a whole shitload of stuff if you have a problem. But I like highly recommend that for anybody, because that has saved me thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Or even, like, I don't know, if you're not comfortable doing it yourself, if you have a friend that's mechanically inclined, see if you could take a case of beer over and like trade that for labor and have them teach you how to do it. Because I kind of taught myself how to do everything. Because when I started, it was like, whoa, or it was like, holy shit, like 12, 14 years before YouTube. So I would just be looking in books and shit, like, how the hell do you replace a radiator? Because I had to do that on my Jeep Cherokee, my 87, that was wrecked when I got it. I had to straighten out the frame, which, where I lived, and how cheap I was, that meant you get out a chain, you put the truck in four-wheel drive, you wrap the chain around a tree, and you wrap it to the frame, and you put it in reverse and like back up as fast as you can. Which I straightened that bitch out perfectly. And then got a new bumper because my dad wrecked it. And then I bought it from him. So I straightened out the frame in the front, the frame horns, put a new bumper on it, a new grill, a new radiator. The hood was fine. Although I had to readjust the hood because I have a scar on my thumb, I believe, from readjusting the hood. Oh, and I had to redo a quarter panel. Front quarter panel. Yeah, because my truck was midnight blue. And we tried to do midnight blue, and it came out like a completely different shade. So it had like a mismatched quarter panel. The grill I never even painted because the quarter panel came out crazy. So I was like, screw it, I'll make it look weird. And then it was I think it was just like straight up plastic. I don't think it had any paint on it at all. If it had paint, it was like white or cream or something like that. I can't remember if I actually did it or not, but I had a plan. It had on the grill, they broke, so I had to buy the new Jeep letters, and I believe they were individual letters. They had to be individual letters, a J and an E and E and a P, because I was going to put them back on the vehicle, PEEJ, and it's going to be my Peach. But I don't remember ever actually putting them back on the vehicle. I remember I was going to do it. But it wasn't very long after that. It was 200. I got it at 287,000 miles because it just got a new clutch. And it took 287,000 miles to need a new clutch. And yeah, it was like right, I don't know, like probably like a couple months after the brand new clutch was put in. Because my dad was, I was going to say a delivery guy. He was a salesman. It wasn't exactly a traveling salesman unless you want to call like a couple hours away traveling. I don't really think that's traveling. I thought traveling was just like traveling the country kind of thing. Like, I'm in New York, now I'm in Illinois. Like that kind of shit. Because my dad was like, oh, I'm like an hour away from the house. Oh, now I'm like 2 hours away from the house. Like that kind of shit. So that's why it had 287,000 miles on it. And he bought it just to be a work vehicle. Well, it was his personal vehicle, but it was bought, I guess it was like a write-off kind of thing. Like gas could be wrote off through the business, and because he owned his own business. And yeah, I remember he taught me. I guess this was after I was actually able to drive a clutch. Because I was 13. I started driving when I was 8. When I was like 10, my parents would let me. We had this stupid fucking van, which was one of my first vehicles. It might have been. Yeah, I think it was my first vehicle. But I hated that stupid van. My mom would go and get groceries and put all the groceries in the back of the van and back the van all the way up to the front door. And we'd all go out there and grab bags and bring them in and then help put all the shit away. And when that was over, they would let me get in there, start the vehicle, drive down this steep as hell driveway, and then back it all the way up into the little side spot on the side. And that's where it was always at. And I started I was steering the vehicle at like 8. Like when me and my dad would go hunting, he would let me sit in his lap, and I would do the steering wheel, and he would do the brake and gas. And he would get mad at me if I didn't stay in the middle of the fucking road. And I'm like, I'm trying to get used to staying on the right side of the road like I'm supposed to. And he's like, it's a dirt road. Like, just stay in the middle with ditches on the side. Like, just stay in the middle. And then at 10, I was, like, backing the vehicle back up the driveway. And then at 13, my dad just, like, we were driving through a field. We were going hunting. And we, like, the same farm that I was talking about, like, we went into the farm, went past the farm and the barns and, like, the outbuildings and all that shit. And we actually got out into the field. And he just, like, stopped the vehicle. This was the 87 Jeep, 5-speed. And he put it in neutral and was like, all right, get out. And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, I want you to drive. And I'm like, all right. And I went over and installed that thing, like, I don't know how many fucking times. And then, I don't know, it was a bunch of weeks. He would just let me do it. And then, like, even when we were in, like, public areas, he would let me, like, start the vehicle. Like, I'd put it in neutral and start it up and everything, But the funny thing was, like, it didn't have a parking brake. Because the parking brake wore out, and he didn't get it fixed. So you always had to leave it in gear whenever... Like, you would always have to turn it off and leave it in gear. Just to make it stop rolling. Yeah, I remember one time I had it in gear and I didn't have my foot on the clutch. And I tried to start it and it didn't have a clutch. What's that called? A clutch disengagement button or something like that. Whatever, where it won't let you start the vehicle unless your foot's on the clutch. It didn't have that, so when I tried to start it, it tried to, like, jump forward, and thankfully there was no car in front of us. And then I was all embarrassed, and I've never done that ever since. Yeah, I love that fucking truck. I think technically the title's still in my name, and it's sitting at a farm in Pennsylvania. I'm really pissed about the fucking 95 Jeep Cherokee, though. That was like the fastest vehicle I've ever been in. I had a 4.0 straight 6 with a 5-speed manual transmission. I have no idea what the rear end was. Or even the transfer case, whatever the stock was. Or the front end. But that thing was fucking fast. I remember unofficially racing like Mustangs and Camaros and shit like that. And like, I may not have won, but I was fucking close. Like, a lot of times I would beat them off the line. But that might have been they were automatic, I was manual. Maybe. I don't know. But that truck was fucking awesome. And then my dad sold it for $1,000. Dude, right now, I'd pay $2,000 for that fucking thing. And one of the problems he had with it, why he only sold it for $1,000, was it needed new rear leaf springs. And he got one replaced and couldn't replace the other one. And was like, fuck it. Like, it's somebody else's problem. And, like, they even got the new leaf spring with it. Like... But, oh man, I love that fucking truck. That's one of my favorite vehicles of all time. This truck that I have now, the truck I had before that, the 01 Dodge Ram, the 06 Chevy 1500, and the 2 Jeeps were like my favorite vehicles of all time, man. The 2 Jeeps were so fucking great. They're like the exact same thing, except 2 different years, or, 2 different years. 87 AMC Jeep and a 95 Chrysler Jeep. But they were the same thing. 2-door, 5-speed, 6-cylinder, 4-wheel drive, no add-ons, like crank windows, manual door locks, shitty radio, basic HVAC, no heated seats, no, nothing like that. Yeah, just this, like, bare bones, the way, like, most Jeeps should be. But I love the 2-door, 5-speed, 6-cylinder, 4-wheel drive, manual, everything. That was the shit, man. I still have, like, flashbacks to driving to the parts store. And it was, like, springtime. And there was a weird smell that I would smell. And it just made me think of springtime, going to the auto parts store, being in that vehicle, and all that shit. And I get that every once in a while. And I'm like, damn. Like, I miss that shit. I don't miss living in Pennsylvania. Should I do GMC? Let's do another one, a shipment. Even my, I love my 06, but my 01 Dodge, it had like the 10-way seat, like it had the lumbar, it had it was all electronic and shit. Did not like that at all. It was like one of the worst seats in any vehicle I've ever had. The Jeeps were great. My Cavalier was great. The van was even great. 06 was great. The 06 Chevy Silverado 2-wheel drive, ugh, that was the best seat of any vehicle I've ever had. That thing was amazing. Like, you just sunk right into it. That's why that was one of my favorite vehicles.
Hard point. Strasser 1, control the target area to win.
On your 6!
Target area confirmed. Get to the hard point.
Changing mags!
the area.
Oh, so cramping.
Secure the lead. Enemies inside the perimeter. Relocating. Stand by. Our UAV is orbiting the area. Line online. Enemy has the lead. Hardpoint relocated. Secure the target area.
Loading.
Hardpoint compromised. Secure the area.
I'm taking fire. Throwing Semtex.
Confirming next hardpoint. Stand by. Hostile mortar strike incoming. Enemy personnel at the hardpoint.
Six.
Move to the hardpoint.
Visual on the enemy.
Holy shit.
Hostile counter UAV overhead. Hostile UAV overhead.
Enemy close. Snipers down.
Semtex out. Mierda.
Relocating. Stand by.
Drop.
Location updated. Capture the hardpoint. Friendly cluster mine planted.
Fire.
Friendly UAV station.
Damn it.
Check fire.
Our UAV is orbiting the area. We've lost the lead. Quick fix.
I'm with you.
Hardpoint compromised. Secure the area. Hostile UAV in the sector. Enemies inside the perimeter.
Contact.
Locating the next hardpoint. Get ready.
Check fire.
Hardpoint relocated. Secure the target area. Friendly UAV online.
Agent man. Activating team.
Watch your fire. Enemy.
Friendly UAV on station.
Enemy responding. Watch your back.
Hostile chopper gunner incoming.
Throwing flash grenade.
Hardpoint relocating. Stand by. Target area updated. Move to the hostile UAV overhead. Hostile mortar strike in the area. Our UAV is orbiting the area. Enemy personnel in the hardpoint. Get ready. Capture the house.
Making effective fire.
Enemy personnel at the house point. Enemies inside the perimeter. Enemy personnel at the house point.
Check your fire!
Confirming the house point. Stand by. Friendly UAV online.
Frag out!
Hard point relocated. Secure the target area. Friendly vehicle entering the sector. Enemies inside the perimeter. The area. Cluster mine deployed.
Check your fire!
Locating the next hard point. Get ready. Location updated. Capture the hard point. 60 seconds left. The UAV updated.
Grenade! Visual target! Multiple enemies here!
Enemies inside the perimeter. UAV ready to deploy. Hard point updated. Stand by.
Subtext incoming!
Hardpoint compromised. Secure the area. Hardpoint relocated. Secure the target area. Personnel at the hardpoint. The enemy is gaining ground. Friendly airstrike in the AO. 10 seconds. Friendly UAV online. Basta. Hostile counter UAV is active. Hostile UAV in the sector. Our UAV is orbiting the area. Hardpoint compromised. Secure the area. Hostile UAV active. Mission failed. Return to base.
doing? Huh? Making noise? What's that? Look up. Look out, big girl. And on. Kevin, how are you still dripping water? Oh shit. It's completely empty. Look up, Boo Bear.
Securing Charlie. Domination. Table 1. Lock down the objectives and enemy securing Bravo. Securing objective Charlie. Secure Bravo. We're taking Charlie. Enemy's taking Bravo. We're taking Alpha. Alpha secure. Objective Charlie. Friendly counter UAVs on station. Enemy securing Bravo. We're losing Alpha. We're taking Charlie. Charlie secure. Enemy's taking Bravo. Alpha. Securing Charlie. UAV standing by.
Threats in the area.
We're losing Bravo. The enemy took Bravo. Securing objective Alpha. Enemy
Alright, hop
taking
down.
Charlie.
Hop down. Hop down.
Friendly cluster
Come on,
mine deployed.
hop down.
Friendly UAV
No,
online.
you too. No.
Enemy
Too
securing
hot.
Alpha.
Go. Hop
Securing
down.
objective Bravo.
Jesus Christ.
We're losing Charlie.
I can infect.
Friendly cruise missile deployed. We're taking Bravo. Enemy taking Charlie. We've lost Charlie. Enemy's taking Alpha.
Shock sticker!
Securing objective Bravo. The enemy holds all objectives. Objective Charlie. We're losing Charlie. We're taking Bravo. Enemy securing Charlie. Securing Alpha.
Multiple enemies.
Enemy taking Charlie. Secure Bravo. The enemy has captured 2. We control Alpha. Objective Charlie is compromised. Get it back. We're taking Bravo. Securing Alpha. Activated. Secure Bravo. Securing objective Bravo.
Stop.
Multiple movers.
The enemy controls the objective. Get after him. Secure Bravo. Bravo secure. Taking Charlie. Enemy's taking Bravo.
Target down.
Watch your
Alpha. Securing objective Bravo. We control Charlie. Hostile Overwatch helo in the area. Secure Bravo. Hostiles deployed this UAV online.
Watch your fire!
Securing objective Bravo. Hostile gunship entering the AO. The enemy holds all objectives. Enemy secure in Charlie. Charlie.
You will not die here.
Push them back. We've lost all objectives. We have to turn this around now. Securing objective Charlie. Hostile UAV in the area. Taking Charlie. Secure Bravo. Securing objective Alpha. Objective Alpha secure. We're taking Bravo.
Target destroyed.
We control Bravo. Enemies taken out. Securing Charlie. Securing Bravo. We've lost Alpha. Securing Charlie. Securing Alpha. The enemy holds all objectives. We're taking Charlie. Objective Charlie secure. Securing objective Bravo. Secure Bravo. We're taking Alpha. We're taking Bravo. Objective Bravo
I'm
secure.
reloading!
Enemy is taking Bravo.
Multiple movers!
Enemy securing Charlie. We're losing Bravo. Securing objective Alpha. Hostile cluster mine deployed. We're losing Charlie. Enemy taking Bravo.
Check fire!
Enemy securing Bravo. The enemy took Charlie. We're losing Bravo. Securing
Switching
Alpha.
mags.
We've lost all objectives.
Enemy
We have to
fighter
turn
here.
this around now.
Changing mags.
Alpha secure.
Slave. Changing mags.
Securing
Pressing
objective
recon
Bravo.
fire.
Our UAV is orbiting the area. The enemy captured the objective. Fight back. We're taking Bravo. Securing Charlie. Secure Bravo. We control Bravo. Hostile cluster mine active. Enemy securing Bravo. We're taking Charlie. We've lost all objectives. We have to turn this around. The enemy's advancing. We control Charlie. We're taking Alpha. Enemy's taking Charlie. We're taking
point located. Lock it down. We have the lead.
Grenade out!
Target spotted.
Jesus Christ.
Enemy personnel at the hard point.
Don't shoot at me, Bessie!
Enemies inside the perimeter.
Throw a grenade!
Observing next hard point. Stand by. Enemy area updated. Move to the start.
Enemy close!
Friendly airstrike on the way. Hostiles launched the mortar strike. Find cover.
Somebody take cover!
Enemy incoming!
Friendly cluster mine set. Locating the next hard point. Get ready. Hard point relocated. Secure the target area.
With you till the end.
Friendly UAV online.
Throwing Molotov!
Friendly cruise missile inbound. Hard point relocated. Stand by. Target area updated. Move to the hard point. Enemy personnel at the hard point. Hostile UAV in this sector. Hard point compromised. Secure the area. UAV standing by. Friendly cluster mine deployed. Friendly UAV on station. Quick fix activated. Confirming next hard point. Stand by. Hostile cluster mine detected. Location updated. Capture the hard point. target area. You're halfway to mission complete. Keep fighting. Personnel at the hard point. Hardpoint compromised. Secure the area. Confirming next hardpoint. Stand by. Location updated. Capture the hardpoint. Hardpoint compromised. Secure the area. Enemies inside the perimeter. Hardpoint relocating. Stand by. Friendly precision aircraft inbound. Target area updated. Move to the hardpoint. Friendly cluster mine set. Hostile UAV over there. Confirming next hardpoint. Stand by. Enemy personnel at the hardpoint.
Shot fire!
Location updated. Capture the hardpoint. Hostile mortar strike incoming. Hostile UAV active. 1 minute remaining. Locating the next hardpoint. Get friendly cluster mine planted. Target area updated. Move to the hardpoint. Hardpoint compromised. Secure the area. Hostile UAV in the
Enemy in
sector.
the area.
30 seconds. Seconds remaining. Hardpoint relocating. Stand by. Secure the target area. Victory secure. Good fighting.
Hey, I did things. Heyo. What you doing, big doe? Hmm? You all happy? You happy? Huh? You happy I did things? Huh? Alright. I gotta go away for a little while. Oh, I'll probably wake up early in the morning or something like that. I don't know. Got 11.5 hours before I gotta be at work. What are you doing? Come on, get down. There you go. Alright. But whatever. Been on for 2.5 hours. I gotta go do other things.